Hello. Um, Sorry for the weird lighting, but it's kind of late and I still wanted to make a video because I haven't in a while, mainly since it was Inktober and I, to be fair, I didn't really follow Inktober this year, but yeah, I was still making an ink challenge and so yeah, I was on top of this. I had and I still have a lot of commissions and things to make, and I couldn't post a lot of them, so there weren't a lot of things I could film exactly. So yeah, what are we doing today? What am I drawing? I am drawing Crizz from the Doctor Who audios, holding a science fiction gun and looking not really scared of it, but unsure, because one of my friends, the friend who makes the Dr. Key videos, is going to review what's the name of the audio again? The Twilight Kingdom pretty soon, and I already drew him an illustration, but there's only one, and I'm in between commissions right now, and if I don't draw something quick, I'm gonna crack. So I need to draw something to put my mind off things. And Crizz is easy to draw, so well, he's easy to draw in the way I draw him, at least. Which is admittedly a bit simplified. The arm is too small. That's a big problem with me. I go into details before finishing the thing. Yeah, he's not too sure about holding a gun. Honestly, I don't remember a lot of things from this audio. I haven't listened to it a lot. I think I've listened to it maybe twice. I'm not sure. No more than 3 times. That's for sure. And it's not very good. So yeah. Apparently, Paul McGann was had the flu or had a cold at the very least while when they recorded it, and it's not like you can hear it, but you can hear he's not, his mind isn't really on it. I'm not exactly sure what kind of gun this is. I'm just going for a weird sci-fi gun. Gonna add some sort of weird visor on top. As usual, I'm filming this on my phone, and the time is limited because I don't have a lot of space on my card. Going to make some sort of trigger there. Kind of improvising. Sorry. Like this. And yeah, it goes like this. Cables, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna improvise once I'm at the ink part. The arm goes like this. Yeah, the arm goes like this. It's a cave, so but it's an organic cave, so I'm gonna do something a bit weird with it. That's the plot twist, basically, and it's not a very good one, especially because the cover has a giant face at the entrance of the cavern, so it kind of gives the twist away instantly. I mean, all the stories can't be stellar, I know that, but the Divergent universe has very low lows and very high highs as far as quality goes. Yeah, making the cave a bit weird. You see it's a cave, but also you see some things not right. Stalagmites shouldn't work like that. The problem is, since the Twilight Kingdom isn't a very interesting audio, and I don't remember a lot of things about it, I don't know what I should talk about, really. I know there's been a couple more people who are following this channel. I'm still not nearly at 100 followers, so I can't stream yet. But thank you all the same for following me. I really appreciate it. And even if I don't post super often, I hope you enjoy the content, even if it's not very professional or anything. How much time? Oh, we're doing this really quickly. I mean, there's a reason I usually ask for less money when people ask me to draw characters I've already drawn a lot, and especially in this very simplified style, because it's a lot easier. I don't have to do all the research to simplify the character first, because I already did that ages ago when I first started drawing them. Crizz is... I could talk about Crizz, I think, a bit. Crizz isn't very well liked as a character in the fandom. The people who like him are, weirdly enough, like him in a really personal way, if that makes sense. I have a couple of friends who are very passionate about Crizz, and I am very passionate about Crizz. I think he's a wonderful character. There's people who are a bit confused by him or find him boring, and there's people who get him instantly, which is weird because the actor himself was a bit unsure about this character, if I recall. He thought the character was a bit confusing. I distinctly remember an interview or something where he was like, um, this guy, this alien, he's got chameleon skin, which would be something you'd expect a prey animal to have, but he's an assassin. So there's a weird discrepancy there. It's really strange. And to him it didn't make much sense, which I can understand, which I can really understand. I'm not entirely sure the choices made when creating the character were very thought through. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but I'm not sure they spent a lot of time building this character, if that makes sense. But I think the by accident he turned out really good. By accident more than design. I mean, a lot of characters in Doctor Who weren't good by design, if that makes sense. Like, some weren't even supposed to be there, like Jamie McCrimmon, who wasn't even supposed to be a companion at first. He was just a character in one story, and then they were like, oh yeah, and he can stay. And it wasn't the plan at first. Which is why in the next episode they kinda had to cut Ben's role in two parts and give half of what he was supposed to do to Jamie. And that's about it, because they had no plan at that point for him. But as we know, he became a really, really good character, and the actor had a really good synergy, I'm not sure how you say that in English, worked really well with the main cast, and he's super good, and a lot of people love Jamie. And I'm not saying that's what happened with Crizz at all, because that's an entirely different path. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes there's accidental, not genius, but accidental quality in things that were added at the last minute or without much thought to begin with. And Carrie's, I find him very relatable in a lot of ways. And I'm not trying to make generalizations here, but some fans of Carrie's, at the very least, find him relatable because, like me, they're autistic, and he gives some pretty, at some points, at various points, he gives off very autistic vibes. like he has trouble expressing his emotions. He expresses them in ways that most people won't perceive, and we can't perceive most of them either, because we don't see him changing colors, because this is an audio media, so it's kind of left to the imagination, which is a problem. I'm just using a mirror to check if I made major mistakes, and yeah, the head has a weird shape. I'm gonna try to fix this. Not sure it's better, but at least it's not worse. And yeah, a lot of friends who are on the spectrum seem to find him relatable, and how confused he is by a lot of things. I added a little vest for him because I'm pretty sure the military guys in this cave complex are wearing some sort of stuff like that, and it would make sense if they're giving him a gun to also give him some sort of very limited uniform to go with it. And yeah, there's his constant confusion about everything. He's very much the fish out of water archetype, except he, if that makes sense, stays out of the water for its entire audio run. He's never allowed really to experience normal life outside of his universe. They never really stop in one place to show him what normal life is. That's kind of tragic in a way. He really is a companion whose idea of normal was entirely, completely annihilated before he joined the TARDIS team. His civilization was destroyed. His people were killed or colonized or exploited or enslaved. Everything he knew disappeared. Even the environment in which he lived his life is no longer the same, and it's a desert now. And not only does he doesn't stay behind to see if things are gonna be back to normal. He decides to leave and explore with the Doctor and Charlie. And he never really finds a new normal. He finds a found family of sorts with them, which could be his new normal, but since they are always on the run, they're always trying to see new things, he doesn't really have time to stop and think about what he wants in life, which makes it all the more tragic in his last episode. And yeah, he's in theory a really sad character, but in practice he's very funny too, because he's so out of the water. And I find him really charming in that way. like they're gonna find a place where there's endless rows of the same house, but like the exact same house, not just houses like look vaguely the same, the exact same house. And they're gonna be like, oh, this is weird. And Crizz is gonna look at Charlton, go, is this weird? And she's like, yeah, no, it's not supposed to do that. I'm not entirely sure what kind of colors I'm gonna use for the gun. I'm gonna probably douse everything in ink anyway, so I'm allowed to wing it a bit. Some years ago on Tumblr, there was a very, very small but very dedicated circle of fans of Crizz. And we had a couple of very, very long posts were full of headcanons about Utermisms. It's super, super difficult to say. Carry species, the people from his world, the people with the skin changing colors and the exoskeleton and everything. We had a lot of headcanons for them, and it was really interesting and really fun to do. I remember illustrating an entire post of headcanons about Utermism's parents losing their kids because in nature, because we had this headcanon that their skin changing color was used for three things basically, which were hiding, obviously, blending in the background. So hiding, one, expressing your feelings, two, and kind of reflecting personality. Like someone in a certain situation would turn red to express anger, but another person to express anger will be like a different red. And you'd get that what's the same emotion, but not the same way of expressing it. Stuff like that. It was really interesting. I really loved these headcanon posts. And yeah, our headcanon went the kids they can't master the first, they can only master the first type of reaction. They don't control everything, they just blend in. And so since they blend in everything, their parents lose them all the time. And I drew them looking in for their kids into trees, into sand, into everything. I'm gonna try purple for once. I rarely draw Crizz purple. And oh. And I'm gonna have to let this dry for a bit, and I'll come back once it's done to put ink on top of everything, basically. See you later. And we are back for the fun part. Well, my favorite part, anyway. This is gonna be quick. But yeah, what was I saying? I was talking about Crizz and fans from Tumblr, I think. And there was this entire community of f- Big Finish fans on Tumblr. I was gonna say a few years ago, but it's kind of old now, like 2014 and 15, which is right when I got into Doctor Who. And I was under the impression at the time that, correct me if I'm wrong and if you were in this community at the time, but I was under the impression this group of fans had been reinvigorated by the anniversary TV episode, because of the special episode made right before Night of the Doctor, and the fans of the Eighth Doctor on Tumblr were a really active fandom. It was really cool, and I arrived in the fandom right after the whole Day of the Doctor thing calmed down a little, if that makes sense. Oops! I almost spilled ink on my lap. And yeah, the fandom was very active at the time. I really enjoyed it, and it was really the perfect time to arrive in this fandom. I discovered Doctor Who in December 2013, and I watched all of New Who very quickly, and by March, I think, of the next year, I was trying to watch Classic Who, and I learned there were audio episodes and books, and I was like, okay, I know I need to watch Classic Who, but I still wonder what this audio thing is about. And I was like, I never listened to audio stories before in my life, apart from podcasts. Like at the time I was very into Night Vale, and I was like, I wonder what it's like. Will I like it? And I was very curious, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to listen to one or two of them, just to try. And my first pick was Tom Warning, because I was very curious about that doctor. And yeah, it was love at first sight. Basically, I really loved the story, I really loved the characters. And it's not a very good audio, but I really loved it. I love the aliens. I love how free I was to imagine how all of this looked. And yeah, I fell into the audio super quickly after discovering Doctor Who. Like 4 or 5 months. Very quick. And I never really recovered. I'm no longer listening to a lot of them, mostly because I've switched to the books, but they still have a special place in my heart. And yeah, that was really the perfect moment to arrive in the fandom, because it was really active at the time. I think we're good like that. Yeah, I'm gonna let it dry, and we're gonna finish this. See you later. And we are back. So I'm gonna add a couple of details with this pencil. I'm not sure I have a lot more things to say about the old, not really old, but at this point 5 years ago is a long time. Old audio fandom. We had memes. And stuff. And inside jokes. Like every fandom really, but since it was centered around the audio specifically. It was like a fandom inside the Doctor Who fandom. And yeah, it still exists, but not with the same passion, I'd say. There's still a lot of passionate people in them, in this fandom, but I'm not sure how to say it. Not the same critical mass of passionate people, more like isolated people, which is natural, of course. But I'm not gonna say sad. It's normal. Just I've got a lot of nostalgia. We all have fandoms that make us absolutely furious, and others where we just are nostalgic of them. I don't even remember who made this, but in 2014, a group of fans. I wasn't in it at first. A group of fans on Tumblr made a world of text. I'm not sure you know what it is. It's a thing where you just make a website where you can make a large empty page with nothing, and you can just type ASCII characters wherever you like on the page, and it's got infinite coordinates, and anyone with the link to the page can type things anywhere on the page and erase stuff and add stuff, and yeah, the audio fandom, the extended universe Doctor Who fandom, mostly classic Who fandom, but also extended universe, made a world of text. And I'm not trying to be dramatic here, it was insane. The thing was insane. It was gigantic. There was several years later, it was still active too. I took a lot of screenshots. There, in some places, there were entire conversations. ASCII art, a lot of ASCII art. Like you'd explore the thing, and suddenly you'd stumble upon a giant portrait of the master, or Edric screaming in ASCII art, and people like trying to make the title card, the Doctor Who title with all the little stars in ASCII art, copying entire dialogues, having entire canon conversations, headcanons, serious ones, completely stupid ones. It was at some point in the middle of nowhere, you would find arrows going go in this direction or go to coordinates this and this. And you'd scroll for ages, and at the end there was a giant ASCII art of a cat, and the text, "It's a fucking cat, you're fucking welcome." And that was it. And there was a part of the page on the left of the page where people had made a long line of dots, and it would stretch for, I don't know how to quantify how long the line was, and it was quickly nicknamed the Cliffs of Insanity. Insanity, I'm still not sure. My English is terrible, you already know that. You know what you signed for. Broken English everywhere. Sorry. But yeah, the Cliffs of Insanity. There was horrible fanfic things, very cute ASCII art, entire conversations too. It was absolute madness and absolute genius at once. I took a lot of screenshots. I kind of miss editing things on this page and seeing another person adding little stars in the background, and then I would went, oh, signs of life. I would go, not I would went. Ah, broken English again. You're welcome. Yeah, so yeah, that was a good time to be in this fandom. How much time do we have left? Oh, it's okay. A lot of time. We can do the line art. It's kind of boring to see, but I almost never film it because I don't have the time, and I do have the time. So yeah, I redo the line art because putting all kinds of watercolor and inks and stuff on it, you can't really see clearly the one you put on the drawing at first, so you have to retrace it with this method, which is kind of good because you can hide some mistakes you made in the first place very easily. What else is there to say? I don't think I have anything left to say here. But I don't have anything to say about what I'm doing either, so... And it's gonna be awkward if I don't talk. Or maybe you're thinking, oh, finally silence. I don't know. I don't see a lot of comments on these videos, so I don't know. I know some people watch them because I see there's a couple of views on them, but I'm not sure what people think about them. Am I annoying? I'm pretty sure I'm annoying, and that's why not a lot of people watch them. But I am what I am. I like talking about things I like. I like rambling about things. You can always click to quit the video if you don't like this. Or even leave a dislike. I won't mind. Negative reactions are more constructive than no reaction at all. Well, except when it's flaming, basically, but I don't think a down is really a problem. What what else can I talk about? We're under lockdown here currently because COVID is back in full force in winter. Thankfully, they kind of anticipated this, and hospitals aren't that crowded, so it's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's still very scary, but not as scary as it was in March, because now we know we're a bit better prepared against it. It still sucks, but I mean, I like the next day, the very next day, they said, "Oh, we're gonna be back in lockdown. Everyone quarantine, please, except for important things, like some people still have to go to work and stuff, and you still have to go buy things to eat." And in March, when they did this, the people were making stocks of everything. We're stockpiling everything, and it was really annoying. And I was kind of bracing myself, and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna start again, and people are gonna stockpile things, and it's gonna be really annoying." And I went to the supermarket, and nope, nothing. I saw nobody stockpiling things. Some ale had a little less things, but it wasn't like empty or anything. Like I saw the rice ale with a little less thing than usual, but nothing was missing exactly, more like a bit depleted. So yeah, it was like, wow, people are getting reasonable. It's good. People are learning. We are learning. It's good. What can I say? Oh, I've also been playing Among Us, like a lot of people, and I really love the game. It's really simple, but with a lot of fun things you can do in it, and it's really, really funny with friends. If you don't play seriously, a lot of people play it very seriously, like their lives is on the line. But no, it's just a game, just have fun a little. If you get killed, it's okay. If people lie to your face, it's the game. Just don't be too annoyed by it. And try to play fair. And yeah, I think it's really, really cute too. All the little colorful beans. For a game about murder, it's weirdly wholesome. And yeah, we're finished. So I'm gonna scan it, and yeah, I'll see you later. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.